Welcome to self-discoverywisdom.com, formerly known as Self-Discovery Media. On these podcasts, you're going to hear people who speak from the heart. They've taken the journey in life. Many things have happened to them, but they've changed it to happening for them. And in their strength, their courage, they've discovered their abilities and their wisdom, and they are now sharing it here with you. Do enjoy each show. We bring it to you with love and knowing that it's going to help you on your journey of life. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another show of Your Health is Your Choice right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. I'm your host, Sarah Troy, and my guest today is Sherri and Scott. We're going to be talking about energy. What kind of energy? We're going to be talking about terra energy. Hang on, I want to just make sure I actually do pronounce this properly. Terahertz technology. What is that? We're going to discover all about that today and how it can help you and your health. Well, we know that we are all energy and everything around us is energy. And when we tap into the right energy and it's running beautifully through our body, it keeps us healthy, mind, body, heart, spirit, and soul. But how do we get there? Everybody should be encouraged to learn how the body can naturally detox, regenerate on its own if we provide the information, tools, nutrition, energy, frequency, and guidance, she says. She was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer in 2016 with meets to liver, spleen, lower lung lobe, and was told her prognosis was grim and to prepare for leaving this earth. Nobody ever wants to hear that. The fear tactic was utilized to try and convince her to go into full right breast and partial left breast mastectomy, and with anticipated follow-up with chemo and radiation and reconstructive surgeries. It all sounded overwhelming to her. She managed for her MS for about 10 years with nutrition, lifestyle management, herbs, and however, this was a little bit more intense. And her hubby reminded her that she had this, and she felt she wasn't so confident, but he was. So as a holistic nutritionist, she figured nutrition, lifestyle, management would be enough. And she just needed to be very strict. But it wasn't enough. She spent many hours searching for answers and solutions. A new energy, the cell was the key. Just prior to her diagnosis, she purchased a system that she thought would be a good time to learn how to use it. She's not looked back. She uses frequency every day for herself, her friends and her family, and even her pets. And this was the introduction to frequency, and she has not looked back. And now she helps others around the world tap into their own body's natural regenerative abilities utilizing nutrition and frequency. The latest frequency is the most outstanding, terahertz frequencies. They're amazing. There is plenty of research out there, and it's definitely worthwhile to look into it. She is a holistic nutritionist, cellular detoxification and regeneration specialist, and she provides the tools, information, and guidance to all those who utilize the body's natural ability to return to optimum health with as little interference as possible. Welcome to the show, my love.
Thank you.
Now, of course, medicine is all about, the diagnosis, which they're generally not very good at delivering, and then let's just cut it out, let's obliterate it. And if we pause for a moment and kind of become in tune with our body, which is what you did with the nutrition and everything else, what does my body need? And you paused before panicking and decided to kind of look into what it is that you needed. Not everybody can do that because panic sets in, fear sets in. If I don't have them off immediately, a whole body is going to be infested with cancer. But I think one of the most important things is when anybody gets a diagnosis, I know it's going to sound hard, just take a breath. Take a breath, take it in, and then ask yourself from that calm space, what can I do about it?
Exactly.
And so you decided that you were going to combat this your way.
Yes, I watched my mom go through cancer. She suffered for 2.5 years with surgeries, radiation, chemo. And I decided, that was 20 years ago, I decided that if I ever had cancer, I would not go that way.
Hmm.
But then I educated myself over the next 20 years, and I actually even helped my dad
Excuse me.
reverse his, oh, that's okay, reverse his uh, prostate cancer. So I knew there was something to the nutrition, but I knew there was more to it as well. So when I was diagnosed, at first I did fall for the fear. And it was actually my spouse that said, you've got this, right? And I said, no, no, I really don't. Because they do really, they do a good job of scaring you
Yes.
into their protocols.
Hmm.
And so yeah, no, I looked into a lot of different things, and I was doing quite a few different things. And I knew I was very, very sick. Um, and I fell upon what was it? It's a frequency device. I won't mention names or anything right now, just because of everything that's going on, and I don't want to bring any attention to it. But so I studied the courses in order to work with the frequency tools that I had purchased, and I started working with those for myself, and I found they were very, very efficient and very effective. And that's when I started to search individuals like Royal Rife and Tesla and their technologies.
Hmm.
And I brought all of this into this. And I've been working with the frequency devices that I have now. And I probably have over about $60,000 worth of devices right now that I utilize. And they're phenomenal. And like I said, I work globally with people all over the world with them. But when this one was introduced to me in March, I was like, I don't need any more devices. I have
Yeah.
everything I need. I have everything I need, right? But the only thing I didn't have was some way to put something into my clients' hands that they were able to utilize on their own. So
Mhm.
a self-empowering tool to help their body detox and regenerate. And this came into my life, and I haven't looked back. I am blown away by what I am seeing with this frequency, and it's the terahertz frequency. And again,
Mhm.
I won't mention the name, but yeah, wow. I can only talk about my experiences with it, but so far, what I've seen in 3.5 months just utilizing the device is plantar fasciitis. I've seen that disappear in 15 minutes, 20 minutes time of using this device.
Mhm.
I have seen kidney stones dissipate. I don't know if they disappeared, but they were blocking the 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 pee. He wasn't it was my spouse actually. He wasn't able to pee, and for about 5.5 hours. And when I used the wand on him, he was able to about half hour later. He was able to pee, and there was a bunch of blood and pus, but never had any problems after that. Didn't have to go to a hospital, so that was awesome. I've seen kidney pain, individuals wanding with kidney pain in my family. 4 or 5 minutes with the wand is gone. I mean, this is excruciating pain that they were having, and it was gone in 4 minutes. So
Mm.
that's just some of the things that I've been seeing. I I've seen a lot, but I can't share a lot of it. So yeah, I'm amazed. And
Is
again,
that just purely because you're speaking to me in Canada, or is there an issue with it in America as well?
we have to be careful not to use medical terminology. So we can't use pain. We can't use like anything that
Yes, it's
relates
the
to
old word enhance. Right. It
exactly.
can
So
enhance your health. Yes. Um,
exactly.
right. You can't say cure and you can't say fix and all of that. Yes, I remember that from the old days when I was in with a nutritional company.
Yeah.
But quite honestly, people can read between the lines anyway. All right, we don't have to say those words. I mean, that's the legal thing to protect yourself. But at the same time, if it can remove discomfort, right, then we want to know about it because there's so many people that are in that discomfort now, um, where Western medicine isn't doing anything for them. My brother has just had this excruciating immune deficiency stuff going through his body for hours, literally because he has autoimmune disease that attacked his kidneys, and then he was on this massive drug and he still doesn't know if it's worked or not. But it was he can't ever have a booster shot or take anything to build up his immune again because they've destroyed it and they don't want to rebuild it. I don't quite get it. It doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, it's, he's gone through that. And it's is is the abrasive way really the only way? And why do we rush to that extreme, before looking at what does the body really need? And when you talk about detoxification, people don't realize how much toxicity we carry in our body, but not just through the foods we eat or what we drink, but in our memory cells, in our anxiety, in our stress, in our depression. All of that is creating toxicity in the body, and we
Mhm.
don't think it is. So we think, oh, I'll just do a cleanse for a day and I'm fine. It takes a little bit more than that to
Yeah,
kind of really release that toxicity from your body. And you don't want to do it all at once because that can be too much on the body. So it does have to be a gradual thing. So would you say that using these energy devices are a way of the body collaborating and realigning their own organs in there, kind of working with them at their own
absolutely.
frequency?
Absolutely. Especially with this terahertz device that I'm utilizing right now. It actually delivers the frequency of a healthy cell to the body. So the frequency range is 2 to 17 terahertz, which it's non-harmful. It's radiation, but it's non-harmful. It's irritating. It's radiation like the sun, which
Yeah.
is helpful. And when that energy goes into the body, it helps your cells and your body resonate at a healthy frequency. However, the frequency doesn't maintain itself if your body isn't able to hold on to the energy because of toxins and what have you. But it allows the body to remove toxins as your body is able to. And when you drink, you can energize the water. And when you drink the water, that also helps the body on the inside. I mean, the wand helps too, but drinking it more because you're drinking it more throughout the day, that helps the body integrate that even more so and allows the organs and everything else to benefit from that frequency in order to rid of toxins and regenerate.
It's fine tuning, isn't it?
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
getting in there, turning the knobs and fine tuning. And like, this has lost its frequency. And along comes something, well, you just need to turn it up here, cell, up to this frequency, and then you're optimum, right?
Exactly.
So it's kind of like a computer energy device going in there and
Yeah.
recollaborating. So um,
Exactly.
we look at modern medicine and not knocking it because it certainly has its place, but it is very much about fixing, not preventing. It's about, I mean,
Forcing.
it's great medicine for kind of your arms dropped off or fixing and mending things, but it's not about core health. They don't go to the core of things. And if we have toxicity and if we have kidney stones, if we have any of those type of things, it's generally all that toxicity that's in the body that hasn't been able to release. And therefore, nutrition can't be absorbed, right? Nutrition can't be absorbed by something that's toxic because the toxicity just burns the nutrition off. So that's why it's so important to detox, isn't it?
Exactly. And even Dr. Hawkins has a book out, Power versus Force, and it talks about, I view the conventional medical system as power, power versus force. Now, force is the medical system forcing your body to do certain things with,
Mm,
and I'm not beating that system up. I love it. There's a place for it.
right.
Power, when the power comes from within, whether it's
Yeah.
through, if you have to have it introduced through a frequency device, so be it. But the power moves everything in its field
Yeah.
and it removes the toxins and it allows the body to regenerate. And I just love that. So when I look at the conventional medical system, I think force and then the power.
Mm.
The power comes from within, and that's one of the things with frequency is that it allows the body to utilize its own power to self heal. And even though I can't use that word, the body can do that.
Right. Exactly. Um, Power within.
Yeah.
That is something that people really need to come to terms with, that the power you're looking for is not on the outside in any aspect of your life. that
That's right.
all your empowerment that you need comes from within. But sometimes that empowerment within needs help. And
That's right.
especially in making sure that your energies, again, mind, heart, body, and soul, are in alignment. Because when they are, you have clarity of thought, you have clarity in body, you have clarity in action. You just know where you're meant to be, what you're meant to do, how you're meant to do it. You know you're in tune with your body, your mind, heart, and soul. Everything is in that attunement when you understand the empowerment that comes from within. So it's in every aspect of your life. But when you actually are energizing your body from optimizing it, um,
Yeah,
what we're doing at the same time is allowing all of those energies to come together that can also feed the heart, soul, and mind. Because if the body is in distress, that's where the energy is going. It's going to work on the body, right? But if we have a body that's optimized, then that energy is going to go to the soul, heart, and spirit and mind intellect. And that's where that clarity comes in. And we all want that clarity.
precisely. Exactly. You nailed it.
Now, of course, we can, acquire a lot of energy through meditation and through, some people through chanting. There are very many ways that you can get energy inside your body and making sure you're not around negative forces. But, nowadays there's such a suppression of energy out there, a toxicity in the world. Of angst and hate and pain and discord, that it's resonating as particles in the air. So it's very hard to avoid it. So even the healthiest of person, they can still get bombarded. And this is why it's something that really is a practice one as nutrition. You don't eat nutrition once a week and expect to be healthy. You eat nutrition every day. And so the same with the energy, it's keeping your energy optimized so that it's perpetually working for you and that you can face whatever else is out there.
Exactly. If you don't have the physical energy, you're not going to have the spiritual or emotional energy to tackle the things that you need to tackle and to reach into the intuition. I always point to the gut because your intuition does come from the gut.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have that energy if you don't have the physical things cleared for you. Sometimes it has to be cleared for you because we aren't all in the best of shape, and maybe we don't
Right.
always eat the best and we have tainted food or whatever. But yeah, sometimes you have to have help from the outside, and that's okay too.
Yeah. But, like what you said about changing the water, using the wand to change the water. And, I've done quite a number of shows on energy water, and how powerful it is for the body. Because, I mean, we are about 90% water. So when we're putting water in there, we want it to be, energized, magnetized type water that can then change
Mhm.
the waters within us. And so, but it's also something that you could use even over your food, over
Yeah.
your cosmetics, over
Yes.
the shampoo, because what it's going to do is take away any form of negative energy and change the structure of it. And we've got to
Uh-huh.
remember the body is the biggest organ. So the
Yep.
creams and everything else that you're putting on there, right? You could be
Hmm.
putting, you could be eating as healthy as anything, but you're using a cream that's causing toxicity from the outside.
Exactly. And creams especially can be really bad.
Yes, they can be. Some of them have just got so much stuff. I mean, if you can't pronounce it, folks, then it's kind of thumb of law, don't buy it because it's a
Exactly.
chemical of some kind, right?
Exactly.
And we've
And the worst,
become, Mhm.
yeah, the worst part about a lot of the creams, they can become endotoxins, which affect the thyroid, which affects everything. So it
Mm.
affects your ability to detox and et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, the creams can be really bad.
Well, let's talk about that, the ability to detox, because some people hold a great deal of toxicity, and some people regularly go on fasting or doing healthy things and detoxing. But for an awful lot of health problems can come down to the toxification in the body. And then, of course, it breaks everything down. And then the medical comes in and says, well, it's this, it's your liver, it's your kidneys, it's your this, and it's that. And it's really that they're just overworking so much, trying to maintain your body because of all this toxification. And not everybody can just go on a simple water detox, because sometimes that detoxification can be dangerous if you do it, too abrasively, right?
Very much so. Where to start with detox? The best thing to say about detox is that yes, these fasts, they always prove to, oh, drop, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, what have you. Water fasts, oh, they're so fantastic. They get rid of lots of toxins. Not if you're really, really toxic and your
Yes.
lymphatic system is stagnant and if your lymphatic system isn't moving, you are doing your body a lot more damage in moving those toxins. I've dealt with people and I've worked with people that have gone on a regime personalized to them with herbs and nutrition and whatever else they needed, and they decided to do a water fast. And I'm totally against a water fast for people that are extremely chronic
Hmm.
in chronic conditions, because they're pushing a lot of toxins through their liver and their kidneys and their intestines and their lungs, and their body can't handle it. And I know
Right.
because I did it. I did it
Yeah.
myself. I
Hmm.
almost took myself out pushing too
Right.
many toxins through the liver, which was already inundated with multiple tumors. They couldn't even give me a number. So no, you have to be very careful with nutrition and detoxing and allowing your body to detox at a rate that is healthy and doesn't take out your organs. Yeah, these 5 day, 7 day, 21 day detoxes, they're not actually really doing a whole lot except maybe moving some toxins from one area to another area in your body.
Right.
And it's not a safe thing to do.
The thing is that toxicity doesn't come overnight. It's something that's built up over a period of time. So you've got
Exactly.
to give it time.
Yep.
There's always the promise of drop this and do this, and you'll be a millionaire in 7 days. There's all those hype things out there, and we think, oh yes, I'm going to have that kind of body and this and that, and it's like, no, not if your body's in trouble. Learn to listen to your body. And as you said, the
Exactly.
toxicity can just move to one organ to the other when the one organ has said, I'm saturated, mate. I can't take any more. You know,
Exactly.
colon, you take it from here, and it's we have to, I think, as with a lot of things in life, it's slow and steady.
Exactly. Exactly.
And patience is something that we're not very good at as human beings. And
Nope.
we want to be better yesterday. Um, but then again, we've got to remember that how many times do you hear of people, I eat healthy. I'm in sports. I'm a ice skater. I'm a runner. I'm a this and that. Why am I sick? And again, we've got to remember that toxicity also comes from your environment, physical environment, mental environment, social environment, and all of that toxicity can build up in your body as well.
And hereditary.
Yes.
We carry toxins or the genetic imprint of the toxins for 14 generations. But in saying that, the conventional medical system would have you believe that genetics rule. No, nutrition rules.
Mm.
Nutrition supersedes any genetic, most 99% of genetic issues, nutrition supersedes it. It's not, genetics aren't as big an issue as is claimed to be, and we're told it's not true.
It's the same with programming. We find
Yep,
people repeating the same pattern the parents did, even though they
exactly.
vowed they never would do that. They're
Yep,
just doing it in a different way, but it's the same thing. And it's because that programming, that pattern is in the DNA. Now, if you're aware of the pattern, right, you're aware of the pattern and you go, okay, I see it's showing up here and it's showing up there. I have to delete this program and I have to insert a better one. And then it takes time and repetition. I'm not having got trouble with words today. I don't know what it is, but
that's okay.
repeat over and over again um, until it becomes a fixed pattern in
Yep,
your mind. Well, it's the same with the body. It's going to revert back to a patterning it knows. But if you keep inserting this new pattern and this new pattern, eventually the old pattern will go, okay, I'm not wanted here. Bye. There's a new pattern in town. But again, persistence and patience.
exactly. And it's the same as introducing the Itera frequency into the body. It takes time. Like I've worked with people that have compressed discs in their back, and the first 2 or 3 sessions, well, they say, "Oh, I didn't feel anything." Well, no, I mean, you're in a lot of pain. You're in a lot of trouble. Your body is in a lot of trauma. It takes time. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
But I mean, by the fourth and fifth session, we'll see some relief. But it takes time. People, I know we expect things to happen right away. We want something that's a quick fix and move on. I mean, with things like inflammation and such, I have seen inflammation go down completely within one session for myself. I can only speak about myself basically. So, yeah, like I do see instant results for
Certain
acute
things.
things,
Yeah.
right? Acute things, not chronic. Chronic is,
Yeah.
it takes a little bit more time. So,
Right.
but then the whole body, because your body's a system, it's not just that area,
Yes.
the whole body is affected, right? So we have to think of that. We're not trained that way. We're trained that, oh, well, it's just the stomach. Oh, well, it's just the liver.
No,
Oh, it's
no,
just the gallbladder. No, we're a system.
no. We are entirely a system throughout, from head to toe, inside and out. And when you say chronic, when you go to a doctor, where does it hurt? Well, it really hurts in my neck. But where
Yeah,
does, that means that it's affecting down the back, it's affecting down the muscles down the front, it's affecting oxygen going to the brain. But it not
exactly.
necessarily coming from the neck. And this is where Western medicine, and especially now, I mean, where I am, we have 1 million people without a doctor because there's just a shortage of doctors. And if you don't have a doctor, you have a call with one, virtual, and it's 3 minutes and one thing. So I could talk about a sore neck, but that could be something totally different in my body that's causing that. But all they're going to
Exactly.
do is treat the sore neck. Right. And
Exactly.
that's one of the problems. We've got to look at our body as a whole organism. And if one part of it's in trouble, that means other parts are going to be in trouble. Even if they were healthy, they're overworking, trying to
Yeah.
sustain and carry the load of everything else.
Exactly.
So, this show is called Your Health is Your Choice. And the reason it's called that is that when we educate ourselves to what else is out there, when we can dive into what other modalities there are and kind of look at our own health and go, okay, right, certain things I need a doctor for, or certain things I may even need surgery for. But before I rush there, what other alternatives are there? We've been
Exactly.
brought up in the last 100 years or less to believe that Western medicine is the only medicine. But for thousands and thousands and thousands of years before that, there were many other medicines. Yes, antibiotics are lifesaver. Look at how many people have been saved because of that. Various operations that couldn't happen before happen now. Absolutely. This is where Western medicine is absolutely brilliant. But
Yes.
there were people surviving and thriving through other modalities. And energy from many healers has been one that's been used since the beginning of time. Yet
Hmm.
we're taught that that's woo-woo, or that
Yep.
it's something, we're not taking our fingers and plugging it in a socket, folks. That
Yeah.
is not the energy we're talking about. We're talking about the very energy of our consciousness and of our cellular um, memory and cellular energy that runs through the body. We have to open our minds to other alternatives and go, you know what? I don't know if it's going to work unless I'm willing to try.
Exactly. Yeah. I find more and more people are willing to try right now because we do have the lack of healthcare out there for ourselves. We are trying to, not have to wait in a doctor's office for a couple of hours to be seen. So people are actually trying to use frequency, and it's not a scary thing. It's not offensive. It doesn't hurt you, and it
Right.
doesn't hurt you to try it, right? It doesn't do anything to you except benefit you. And when you experience this, the frequency, the terahertz frequency, you'll realize like, wow, what was I so afraid of? And
Yeah.
some people are still afraid of it.
Yes.
I've seen
Look,
it.
there's some people that will be afraid of their shadow for the rest of their lives because they've been conditioned to do so. And,
Exactly.
as a counselor in the past, I've gone, what are you afraid of? I don't know. I'm just afraid. And they're just living in a state of fear all the
Yeah.
time. And they've been conditioned to do so. And, that is a form of control. It's a
Yeah.
control either from the person that's got that power over you, government, religion, society that has that power over you. And the only way you're going to break that is to take your own power back. And that means you're going to
Exactly.
have to step out of that fear zone. And is it going to be uncomfortable for a while? Yes. But when you do take your power back, um, you are a totally liberated person. But that also means body. So many
Yeah.
people are sick in the body because they're broken in the heart or they're broken in the spirit. or
Yes.
their mind is so utterly stressed. And people think, but that's the mind. What's that got to do with the body? We're attached, folks.
Yeah.
Whatever goes on in the
Yeah.
mind is running through the body. And so
Yeah.
we really have to look at ourselves as a whole, don't we?
Yes. Absolutely. And the one thing you just touched on too was the stress factor. The more stressed you are, the less you are going to reverse any chronic conditions or heal, even through the conventional medical system. If your nervous system is not relaxed, you will not regenerate, you will not detox, and you will not regenerate tissues or matter, nerves, whatever it is you need to do. And that's one thing with that I love about this frequency device is it actually makes you relax. It
Mm,
relaxes your nervous system. People that utilize this actually have shared that they sleep better than they have slept in decades. I'm one. I was up every 2 hours. I'm just one of those. My brain never stops. Now
yes,
I'm
mine
able to
too.
sleep. Right? I'm able to sleep now. And it's like, wow, this is so relaxing. And you know your body and your nervous system is relaxing and you're allowing to process toxins just because of the way you feel too. You feel fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, relaxing is huge in healthy in maintaining your health.
Absolutely. And when you go into that deep retina sleep, that's when the body goes to work. It's a miraculous thing of healing itself, but it needs to
Exactly.
be in the proper state in order to do that. And if you're
Yeah.
like this all the time, wired, 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 how
Yeah.
can it help? Because it's plain dodgems in there, and
Yeah.
it needs you to be calm. And sometimes that's easier said than done for us to kind of override our mental, chatter that's going on. Um, and to have something that kind of does that for you. So it kind of is an off switch. Again, equilibrium stabilizing switch. And when everything is stable, it can now get to work.
Yes.
And that's the important thing. We've got to understand, yes, there's an awful lot that we can do ourselves, through
Mhm.
meditation, through healthy lifestyle, through nutrition. There's a lot we can do for ourselves. But we've also got to understand that we're living in an era where there is so much toxicity around us that we're absorbing all the time that we are unaware is affecting our body. And so we need that external help to actually help us stay in that equilibrium.
Precisely.
So when somebody comes to you, you have all these other devices, etc. So, I mean, do you do it virtually? Do you do it physically?
Well, I used to do it one-on-one, but since the last couple of years have forced me to go more so online, I do most of my work virtually. So
Yeah.
the only time that I opened up a clinic so that I could utilize this newest frequency device in person with people so they could actually experience it one-on-one. And that has been phenomenal. Other than that, most of what I do is online. But I
Hmm.
can I can actually energize water online. I have worked with people all over the world where I've energized their water. Well, like for instance, if you had a glass of water there, I could energize it right now and you would know the difference.
I've got coffee. It's morning.
I should have told you to have water ready. What was
Yes,
I?
yes, definitely. Um,
Yeah.
I have experienced cooking a meal and a toxicity of shock going through a situation, and it literally changed the chemistry of the food, right? Now, people think that can't happen, but it does,
Oh, it
right?
does.
So it's really, really important that we actually understand how easy it is to absorb these toxins or to be thrown out of kilter. But the other thing I think, COVID has done a favor for us is there's a few things. One, it's had us slow down, stop, pause, reconnect, and redirect. Right.
Yes.
And because we slow down enough to go, do I really want to keep going down this road? Is there a better road for me? Let's explore it. And, just slow down enough to actually take in life and not life take you in. But it also puts so many things online that weren't there before. And we are exchanging energies right now. We're in two different countries, thousands of miles apart, but we're exchanging energies. And this is what people don't understand. They think you have to be in proximity to receive energy, but you can send energy. Like prayer, folks, when you pray is an energy. You are praying an energy. So when you are sending energy out there, Don't send those bad vibrations. They're going to come back and bite you. Send
They
those good
do.
ones. Yes, they do. They do a boomerang and come right back. So send out the good vibrations. And when you're working with people who are energy healers, which is what you are, um, it works because the energy doesn't know boundaries.
Right.
So explain a little more on that, how you work with people on that.
Uh, well, in my mind, what I do, I call it quantum physics,
Hmm.
but I just I always explain it as energy, and everybody looks at me like I've got three eyes, and it's like, oh well, it's just they've done research on it where it shows that energy is it's here now. Like it's
Oh, yes,
I think
scientifically
it's
proven,
there. Like
folks. Yeah.
it is scientifically proven. So when I work with people, and it's changing a little bit now because I used to use another system, but the other system that I use is this quantum biofeedback system,
Yeah.
and it works with hertz and megahertz. And it was phenomenal with what I could help people with and see and be able to verbalize with them what they needed to do in order to change their health. And now I'm working more one-on-one, and I'll do a quantum biofeedback session, and I'll kind of see what their stresses are, because that's the terminology I can use.
Hmm.
I'll see where their body is the most stressed, and I'll suggest either used to be a lot of herbs or more so nutrition and a lot of herbs, but now it's more a little bit of nutrition, maybe one or two herbs, and now it's this frequency, because the frequency supersedes even what I'm doing when I'm retraining their energy fields for their optimum health. This terahertz, it supersedes even that,
Hmm.
and it's in their hand. They can use it twice a day and expedite the results faster. So, yeah, when I'm working with people now, I share what I see. They take the results. They purchase a device, and they start working with it. And within 2 weeks, I get testimonies. Usually it's a couple of days. Within 2 weeks, I get testimonials that are like, wow, da, da, da. For instance, I can't really share too much about this, but I did a session for a lady on Sunday, and she used it on her husband, and he phoned me within 24 hours and said, that was amazing. I haven't moved this much in 3 years. He said, you just saved my marriage.
Hmm.
Because he said, my life was riddled with pain, and
Yeah.
I know I can't use that. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And he said, now today, like the first day, he said, I've been going all day, and I could go all night, he said. And that was just from drinking a little bit of water and working on a couple of different areas in his body. So that was phenomenal. I love getting testimonies like
Yes,
that.
yes, definitely.
Wow,
Well, I mean, we
amazing.
don't realize that most illnesses or diseases or anything that goes wrong in our body is blocked chi. It's blocked
Yes,
energy.
exactly. That's exactly what it is. And once you get that energy flowing and the blood circulation and everything gets rolling, the impurities can move out, the inflammation goes down, you feel better.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that it's an incredible machine, our bodies. It really is. And you look at all that it can do. It's quite phenomenal what our bodies
Yeah.
can do. And, when we, again, I'm a whole person, mind, heart, soul, spirit, body, everything works together. And when it does all work together, that's where miraculous things can be done. But when you have a blocked chi and you go, well, I've got a pain over here. Well, that's because the energy is blocked over there. And yes, I've
Exactly.
had acupuncture and acupressure, and I've had all of those type of things, and they work wonders at releasing the chi. But you have to be with someone. Of course, needles have been stuck in you, and it does work. But there's many sessions that you have to do. So this one sounds to be something that is able to work faster and
Huge.
also in more areas that it can do, but the same principle, releasing the chi, releasing the energy.
And they've actually measured that. I don't know the exact numbers, but something like 10 minutes with this frequency is equal to like 40 massages or something to that effect. Like that's how powerful the
Yeah,
frequency is.
yeah.
So they do have ratios. One is acupuncture, one is acupressure or acupuncture, one is massage, and they have a couple other things that they actually relate the timing of using this to. And it's like, yeah,
And it's interesting because, I have fibromyalgia and I've had it for 26 years. And one of the problems is your body seizes right up and you become like cardboard. Everything is hard to move because everything is so stiff and tight and painful. right? So
Yeah.
I'm always in a state of pain, and it's just according to each day, which measure, where I'm at on it.
Yeah.
But when I went for acupuncture and I went for massage therapy, it kept my body loose and it
Nice.
stopped me from tightening up, and I could manage my fibro very, very well. Then, of course, the government decided not to cover any of those treatments anymore and rather give you drugs, which don't work.
Oh,
And so, consequently, I'm not getting those treatments anymore. So, this one sounds like it's a replacement for that, where I can give myself the
yes.
alternative,
Oh,
that the equivalent of that
yeah.
massage and that thing. Because really, what is it? Fibro is inflammation, but it's also everything tensing right up. So if we
Yes.
can get everything to relax and the inflammation to come down and everything to be in flow, that means toxicity has only one place to go.
That's right. You've got it. Actually, it's got a couple, but your skin, your kidneys, and your intestines,
Right, yes,
and
right.
lungs.
All in the
Yep.
same area,
Yep. Yep.
but
Wow. That's
out of you,
yeah.
right?
Out is where you want it to go. And
Yeah,
when you're contracted like that, you're not releasing anything. You're holding it there, and
yes,
that's really, really, yeah.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah, exactly. Now you're going back to nutrition.
yes.
People say, but I take all this nutrition, I eat healthy, I juice, I take all these nutritions every day. But if your body is toxic, it can't absorb it. Let's talk more
Exactly.
about that nutrition because, yes, it's very important. We need to supplement because our foods are not what it used to be back in the day, where it grew in energetic soil and really grew with much abundance. It's been depleted now, so we're not getting the same nutrition from our food. So,
And
let's talk about nutrition.
unfortunately, that is true. The soil microbiome is not as healthy or vibrant as or organic as it was even 50 years ago. I forget the ratio. Is it eating one apple back then for nutrition is equal to 19 now or something?
Yeah.
But it's loaded with toxins and such
Yes.
from the chemicals that they're putting on them, which is
Right.
very unfortunate. I think we're going to have to find a different way to farm if we all want to get through this. But nutrition is very important. But if our body doesn't absorb it,
Hmm.
then you can eat and take as many supplements as you want, and you're not going to absorb it or metabolize it the way that you need to.
Yeah.
And this is where, in the way that I look at detoxing, is if your lymphatic system is stagnant, when it's stagnant, it's not moving and nothing. Your cells are basically surrounded by their own toxins. So cells have to absorb nourishment, but they also excrete toxins.
Hmm.
When your lymphatic system isn't moving and fluid, then they're not getting any
Yeah.
nutrition or nourishment, but they are still excreting toxins. So they're bathing in their own toxins. So it's kind
Yes.
of like a sewer system.
Yes.
You know, if your sewer system isn't working in your house and your toilet's overflowing, then it's flowing onto your floor. That's a very toxic environment to be in. It's the
Hmm.
same as the body. If the lymphatic system isn't flowing, if your chi, your energies, your meridians aren't flowing, your lymphatic system isn't working, and that all starts in the gut. If that isn't working, you're not getting the nourishment that you need. And this is where getting your energy flowing within your body, because wherever energy stops, there is dis-ease in the
Yes.
body.
Yes.
Everything contracts there. Everything toxins stay there. No nourishment gets in. That's when you start to get breakdown, degeneration in the tissue. Call it cancer, call it what you want. That's how this happens. Get the energy flowing, toxins start moving, your cells receive nourishment, they're healthy. It's a great day.
Yes. We're seeing so much obesity today.
Oh,
And
yes.
but when you look at those people and actually really truly look at them from the inside out, they're actually malnourished.
Yes.
And people, well,
And
how can they
that's
be? How can they be 300 pounds and malnourished? Is because they're full of
toxin.
toxicity and there isn't any nutrition getting in there. So it's not supporting the body.
And there's two things. They're starving, number
Yes.
one. They're eating, 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 eating. And number
Mm,
two, the more food that they're taking in, which probably isn't all food, it's probably
right.
more like what I call Frankenfood. So they're taking in more toxins, and the more your body has toxins, the more water we need to buffer the acids from the
Mm,
toxins. So we're holding on to water and we're holding on to toxins. And
mm,
obviously their energy isn't flowing because they're maintaining all of this.
yes. Exactly. And so, we look at it and, and of course, obviously the food they're eating is what we call center aisle, right?
Mm,
Nothing fresh and nothing nutritional and certainly nothing fortifying. But again,
right.
back to that detoxification. Yes, you could drink water all day long, but again, if it's, and it helps, yes, certainly it does help, but at the same time, you could be drowning yourself if those toxins aren't attaching to that water to flush out.
Exactly. And that's where even with the frequency device, when you energize that water with that frequency, it actually pulls all as much as it can and as much as the body allows, it pulls toxins and additional water out of the body. So people actually lose weight
Hmm.
with these frequencies. They don't change their diet even. They just start to lose weight because everything is starting, the chi is the energy starting to move in
It's
their
working.
body.
Yeah,
Toxins are moving. Yep.
yeah. The body is working. It's in flow, right?
Exactly.
And it's a miraculous thing if you
Yes.
give it the right fuel,
Yes.
right? And make
Exactly.
sure that we probably pay more attention to our car engines than we do our own.
Probably.
Yeah, sadly.
I'm probably the same. I'm more worried about everybody else's engine.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to make sure you look after your own.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
you talked about Nikolai Tesla, brilliant man, way ahead of his time. Had we gone his way, we would all have free energy today, less wars, less power, less, other things.
Hmm.
But because of the way he was treated, he turned his understanding of energy actually into devices for the body. And he kind of came up probably with the original one type thing. Um,
I
right?
yeah, I
So
don't I don't know that, but I wouldn't doubt it.
yeah,
And even
there
even
was
Royal Reich.
yes, yes, he had this light thing that he used for healing people, and
Yeah.
when you look at a tree's fiber optics, and you look at our heart, and you look at the way our minds work, and everything has the same pattern. It's all those particular fiber optics and nerve endings, etc., all wired the same because we're all made out of the same substance in the universe. We just have manifested differently on this planet, right? So if this energy devices work on us, and of course it will work on our pets, why can it not work on our land? If you want to grow some vegetables, put it over the soil a few times to re-nourish the
Exactly.
soil and then start planting and then see for yourself what you get because why stop just at the body?
Exactly. I
Let's
have
take it
seen
into
some.
government and wave it around.
Yeah. Oh no. I have seen some individuals that have wanted their plants and
Yes.
they show them just like just growing like crazy and
Yeah.
healthy as could be. I haven't done it, but I have seen others that have done it. And yeah, you're right. It's the energy, right?
We are all energy. Everything on this
Yep.
planet is energy. The air, absolutely everything is measured. And yes, scientifically, it has been proven. I have
Hmm.
another channel called Quantum Spirituality, and that is because the quantum physics now have actually understand that those that live on a spiritual level are living on a higher frequency, which is measurable. And if they
Yes.
can measure it, then therefore they can verify it. So people that live on that higher conscious, that higher frequency of energy, right? That are living on that spiritual plane are people living in and vibrating at that energy frequency, which they've then seen the benefits of that frequency that goes out. So scientists are not looking at spiritual people as woo-woo anymore. It's like, oh God, we need to catch up.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And it's just you just nailed it. You did. It's a different frequency and it's almost palatable. You can almost, well, you can feel it,
Yes.
when it's like even when you're, it's like the hair in the back of your neck. If
Mm.
someone is negative or something around you, the hair in the back of your neck almost stands up. And our hair is meant for sensing things, but
Yes. Yes.
but you can and you immediately push yourself away from that, right?
Yeah.
But when you're running into someone that has a higher frequency, you gravitate to them,
Yes.
and it's the same for healing the body. I mean,
Mm.
when you're contracted, you're attracting more of that, whatever it is, that negative energy. But when you start to open yourself up, you wouldn't believe what comes. You wouldn't believe, well, you would, but
I would, yeah. Well, let's just take a simple analogy of you're hosing the garden. And as you go around the corner, the hose gets into a knot and the water stops
oh,
flowing, right?
yeah,
What do you
yeah,
do? Just give up? No, you go back and unknot So
Yeah,
everything can be in flow again. It's the same principle
exactly.
in your body. Everything's got knotted up, so things can't flow. When you open up that flow, all the mechanics that have their own intelligence, all those beautiful organs in you, they have their own intelligence. They know how they're meant to work, and they're
Yeah.
brilliant, right?
Yes,
And all they need is that energy in order to work properly. So you're unknotting them and allowing them to flow.
exactly. I couldn't have come up with that, but that is beautiful. That is awesome.
So
Yeah.
I know that Canada at the present moment is on the fence. They're always extra cautious um, on everything that they allow in, and eventually it does come in. But we're always slow on that. But of course, this device can be bought in America and elsewhere in the world. So
Yep,
can you tell
global.
people, how they get hold of it, or what's the process with that?
There's a couple of different ways. They can email me, or they can reach me on my Facebook page, or I can, if they email me or reach me on my Facebook page, I send them a link and they can go through the link. There's information in there about the wands. There's other products too, but I focus more on the wands right now because I love them.
Hmm.
But yeah, they can get all their information from there. And if you're from Canada, unfortunately, we aren't able to sell them right now in Canada. We can utilize them. You can experience them. We just can't sell them right now in Canada. So,
Right.
but everywhere else in the world, we can get
I
them.
know we'll catch up, folks, in Canada. Yeah, they say they're always ultra cautious, but eventually it does come through.
Yes,
And especially if there's a demand from the public, right? So
and there
that's
is.
something to bear in mind. So, like if you've listened to the show and you are in Canada, write to the health ministry and say you want this wand. That
Exactly.
it's there's nothing about it that can harm you. You
Yeah,
can't over energize your body because your body knows what to do with that excess energy if it does have too much, right? It's
exactly.
intelligent enough to know what to do with it. And it,
Yeah.
it, it even knows, like, okay, you've energized enough today, it'll shut the brain down and you'll switch the thing off. That's the way the body works. It's highly intelligent. We've just blocked that intelligence because of block
Yes.
G.
We've, I think we've been trained to do that too.
Yes, yes, yes. It's the old monkey see, monkey do. And it's like,
Yeah.
I ain't no monkey. So, and again, back to our health is our choice, is
Yeah.
that, if 500 years ago, you said to people, you're just going to pop a pill and it'll make you feel all this or make you feel all that, you wouldn't trust it. If a
No.
surgeon came to you with, the machinery they have to, I mean, look at what they do today. They have these microscopic instruments that can go into the brain or into the organs, and it's like, laser thing, etc. You would go, no man, you're a witch, let's hang you, dunk you, or whatever
Yeah.
the case is. And so
Yeah.
why, are we looking at something that's been there since the very beginning of time? The universe is energy, the earth is energy, everything that grows here is through energy. We are energy. All we're talking about is energy alignment.
Oh, yes. Even food.
Yes.
Food is energy. Like,
Absolutely everything. Right? I
yeah,
mean, you can wave that wand over your food whilst you're cooking it, change the energy so it's going to be more nutritious for the body. Wave that
exactly.
wand over you so that your body can receive this nutrition
Yeah.
by unblocking energy. I can't see any non-benefits for it, actually.
Yes.
Energize the house when you've got visitors coming.
Fine. I'm gonna
The
have to get a
in-laws.
few. I find when people change their frequency that it actually changes the people that come in and around
Absolutely.
them anyways, right?
Yes,
So
yes, it does,
yeah,
because energy begets energy. And so
yeah,
if you already was got negative people around you, check your own negativity, your own
exactly,
toxicity of your energy. But when you raise up to that higher frequency, then more people that are in and around that frequency want to be a part of you because that's where you're vibing, right?
exactly,
And when you're vibing
exactly.
at that, that's when you can come together and lock into those energies and just
Exponentially expand.
and do more good.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely. The old thing, misery loves misery. True, but loving energy loves loving energy. And
Exactly.
when you are healthy, when
Yeah,
everything in your body's in flow and your mind is clear, you just look at all the problems in the world and say, there's a solution for everything. And
Yep.
just in my high vibration, I'm going to step into that solution.
Yep.
So it's
Beautiful.
healing you, it's healing around you, and it's becoming a healing source, rippling from you.
Exactly.
Right. So
Yes.
I mean, again, I've done a lot of shows on energy under quantum spirituality. You will find many of them. A few of them have used Nikola Tesla's technology in one way or the other. And um, it's all about energy and how we use it. And that goes into how you speak with yourselves, folks. Some people have a condition and they become the condition.
Yes.
They're not a person with something, they have become the condition.
Yes.
And that has given the power and the energy to the condition. And they wonder why that they're constantly living in pain. And that's because you fed it in the wrong way. So it's very, very important what you say to yourself, what you say to your body, and how if you have something that you just have to manage, how you manage it. But always remember, you are in charge.
That's right.
So if they want to get this, I mean, if they just want to have other treatments with you, how do they reach out to you?
Again, through my Facebook, or they can also go through the website as well. Do you want me to
Yes, give
share
your
that?
website, give your Facebook, give your email, love, give it all.
Okay, well, the Facebook is just Sherri A. Scott. There's a
And that's
lot on there.
Sherri, right?
RRI, yeah,
A
A.
Scott, yeah.
Scott. And I'm up there as a frequency practitioner. I have right now the profile is that of a wand, and it has a frequency saying on it. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I know I'll be hard to find. You might have to wait for the link from Sarah. But and hang on here. I've got to look up the Facebook page because it's hang on. I have to look. Sorry.
Yep, I've got it here. So hold on a
You have
second.
it? Okay, yeah.
Yes. So hold on a
Memory's
second. Just
good. Yeah.
open your profile. Okay. Okay. So there you've got check-ins. Is that where you want people to go?
To the www.terahertzforwellness.com.
Oh, that one. That one.
Yeah,
Right.
that one. Yeah.
Right.
And then it's /BLW67. And
Okay.
they share a lot of the information in there, but even if you just go on there, I get the message that you were on there and I can reach out to you from there.
So they just put in your name when they're in there?
That goes directly to me. That
Okay.
one. Yeah. I know they go in there as soon as they enter there and put their information. I know exactly that they're there, and my system prompts me to go greet them or acknowledge them and let them know that I've seen their inquiry.
Okay. So, and of course,
yeah.
the email is?
I love healthycells@gmail.com.
I love that. I love healthy cells. And it is all about healthy cells, isn't it?
It is.
We talk about the cellular structure of something, the cellular structure of humanity. And it's all about cellular structure. When your cells are happy, your body's happy, your spirit's happy, your mind is happy. You go around creating happiness everywhere. So it is all about that. So it's really, really important.
Exactly.
So
Healthy cells are energized cells.
yes, they are. Absolutely. So the three ways they can get hold of you is frequencyandwellness.com/BLW67. And that will get directly to you and about the ones, etc. They can email you, I love healthy cells @gmail.com. And on Facebook, it's Sherri.A.Scott. And they can reach you there. And I really, folks, and this might be strange to you. It might be something that, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Well, she does other form of energy healing as well. So whether you're ready to go straight to the wand or you want to try something else out, remote or in her neighborhood, reach out and give it a try. You've exhausted all other avenues. They haven't worked. You're still in pain. Your body's still not functioning in the way that it should be, and it's bringing you down. What have you got to lose? Absolutely zero, but one hell of a lot to gain. So reach out to Sherri and just have a discussion with her on what you need. And maybe it's not to go straight to the one, maybe it is to go through other processes that she has. And then eventually you'll go, okay, I can wand it myself, right? So it's, I know it might be, a step that's unusual to you, but don't be afraid of it. if we were, we've been taught to be afraid of our energy. And this is why we have so much toxic energy in the world, because we've been taught to be afraid of it and other people's energy. Our energy is absolutely divine. It is absolutely exquisite when it's in proper flow, right? So let's
Exactly.
get it in proper flow. Let's get you feeling great. Let's get you thinking great. Let's get you seeing great. Let's get your whole optimization of your energy out there doing great. Because now you actually become the solution to what this world needs, right?
Exactly.
It's all trickle down.
Exactly.
So it's all there, the good vibrations, right?
It is. Yes,
Thanks so much
it's
for
awesome.
sharing today. And I do
Thank
very much
you.
believe in energy. I mean, people believe in Reiki, and yet 20 years ago it was woo-woo, and now it's commonplace. And even
Exactly.
yoga is about moving your energies. Tai
Yep.
Chi, Qigong, it's all about keeping the energies in flow. There are so many modalities through the eons that talk about energy flow. All you have are devices that can help us do it more efficiently, because really we're being more bombarded than we've ever been in history before.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah,
Very true.
yeah. Let's change these vibes, folks, inside and out. Thanks
You
so
bet.
much for being
I
with
love
us
that.
here, Sherri.
And thank you. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure, my pleasure. And folks, please, 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 just your health is your choice, but be kind to yourself and really go into raising that energy inside of you physically, emotionally, spiritually. Because I promise you, once you do and you get onto that journey of your own self-discovery in the right vibration, there's going to be no stopping you, and you are just going to be an illumination for everyone else. Be an illumination for yourself first. So switch on that energy and let it be free. Until next time,
Be,
folks.
be the light.
Be the light. You are the light. The light is within you. It just needs to be switched on. The wires are crossed, okay? We need to unwire the crosses, uncross the wires, and let it be free and
Awesome.
flowing. All right, folks? So let it flow. Until next time, bye for now.
Bye-bye.
We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Just go to the podcast tag at the top there and you will see all the many genres and all 3,000 shows ready for your listening. We are here to serve you, to help you on your journey of life, and we know that through inspiration it begets invitation. We are supported by you, the listeners, and those that we interview. Anything that you can spare us in donation would be greatly accepted, and we do hope that you enjoy the next show.